Hello students, yesterday we were talking for the lens maker formula and we have seen what is the power of a lens, and in all these sections how can we formulate and how can we construct a lens, that I have told you. Next one, as we are going to study today, that is what is first of all linear magnification produced by a lens. Then we will see if we are going to combine two or more lenses, then what will be their final focal length. So let's see this formula after this one. So first of all, as linear magnification I have told you, whenever we are putting any object in front of any lens, then that time image of that object is obtained, and that image is whether diminished or enlarged, we can understand it by the help of linear magnification. So it is defined by m is equal to height of object, height of image, not object, to the height of object. If height of image is s dash and height of object is h, then it can be written as s dash upon h first, if we are considering size. And if we are taking this one term, that is image distance and object distance, then as object is always kept in front of lens, then that time u will be minus u, and we have taken this one. So this is our general formula for the linear magnification that we have seen before for the spherical surfaces. Now for the lenses, what is linear magnification, negative, positive and virtual, what kind of image you will get, how can you get informations from this. Let's see. First of all, for convex lens, so in the case of convex lens, we are obtaining image in front of lens as well as behind the lens, means we are obtaining images on both sides of the lens, then that time we will obtain virtual image as well as real image. So for the real image, first in the condition, that is first for the condition of real image. So in the case of real image, that time we will be in right side of the lens. If it is, this is our convex lens and this is the cone, and if our object is always this side, obviously, and the real image will be obtained if this light ray will go from here and the image will be obtained on this side. So this image is real image for this one. So it means that V will be positive for this and U is obviously in left side it is, then it will be negative. Then formula for the linear magnification for this, that will be equal to minus V by U. So from here we can see for the real images this magnification is negative, and which shows that image will be inverted. So this negative signs is showing s dash upon s, that will be negative. It means that h dash is negative as h is, if it is it has some of the size and it is in upward direction, then that time s dash will be minus of s, means in negative direction we will get inverted image we will obtain for this one case. So for the real images always we are obtaining magnification negative, and second one for the image information it will be inverted image. Next, for the second case, if we will obtain the image for in the same side as the object, and that time it means that our ray will be diverging and we are just obtaining this image by taking this line in backward direction, and that time image will be virtual images. So in the second condition, if we have virtual image, so in the case of virtual image, as u, this is object distance, it is negative, and as well as this image distance from the pole, that will be also negative. So this both quantities are negative, it means that we will obtain this formula as positive. So we will take magnification for this case as positive, and this positive magnification will tell us that s dash upon h will be positive, it means h dash will be positive. So whenever we are obtaining height of any image or object as positive, then that time it means we are obtaining erect image in the same upward directional image we are obtaining here for this case of the virtual image. So this is the information about the image that we will obtain for the particular conditions when we are using convex lens and we are obtaining real image or virtual image. So this should be, I think, clear. Next one, if we have concave lens. So for the case of concave lens, always virtual image we are obtaining, as concave lens diverges the ray, then that time always the image will be obtained when you will take light in the backward direction. So if this is our object, light is going from here, then this will be diverges. So we will take this line as backward, then that time image will be obtained in the same direction of this one. So in this case, as image is also in the same direction and object is also in the same direction, so this image, as it is virtual image, we have obtained virtually this one. So always concave lens provide us virtual image. And if it is virtual, then U and V both are negative, then this magnification will be positive for concave lens. Second one, as it, magnification is positive, then H dash will be also positive, means image will be erect here. So this is the information that we have got, and also you can solve V by U, and if this ratio is greater than 1, then that time H dash will be enlarged, and if this ratio is less than 1, then it means that we will obtain diminished image. In this case, means if U is greater than V, then that time diminished image we will obtain, and if V is greater than U, then that time enlarged image we will obtain. So this is complete information by using linear magnification for any kind of lens and its images, that is by any object. So after the discussion on linear magnification, now let's see what will be the focal length or what will be the power if we will combine two of the lenses. So we are going to study combination of lenses now. So in the combination of lenses, suppose we have two convex lenses. First, for example, I am going to take. So if we have two convex lenses, then this is our convex lens. And if we have put another convex lens in contact with this one, so this is another contact lens. So such kind of combinations you can see for two convex lenses. And now if this is their principles, then you can just draw a line that will be principal axis for this one. And now if we will put any point object on the left side of these combinations, then light will fall on this one first, and after falling this one, obviously it will provide you an image of this. Suppose the image of this one we are obtaining here, this is I dash we have, and again this image will act as the object for the second one case. First lens will be will give us the image I dash, and this I dash will act as the object for this one, means this light that is coming, that will fall on this, and for this one again refraction will take place and we will obtain the image, final image by this second one, and this is our final image I. So this is, I think, now clear. First, how can we obtain the image from these combinations? First, light ray will fall on the first lens, and after falling this image will form here, that is I dash for the first one only. If you are going to neglect the second one, then I dash will be its image. But if we are going to again see the second lens also, so this I dash is, now provide us the object for the second lens, and I is the image of this one. Now if we will just measure the distances from this point, the combination point that you are seeing means optical centers that is matching, and if we will measure all of the distances from here. So once more again you have to make some of the assumptions that we have made in the case of lens maker's formula, like aperture of the lenses should be very small, means lenses should be thin here. All of the distances will be measured from this point only, means we don't have to take this thickness of the lens into consideration here. We are going to neglect this one. So if we will neglect, then that time this distance will be object distance u, and if you will take also the sign convention, then as it is in left side, so this will be minus of u. This image is formed by this first lens. So it is suppose our lens 1, this is our lens 2 that we have combined, and for the first lens this image is obtained. So this will be suppose v1 we are going to take for this. This is the image distance for first one, and as it is in right side of this optical center, then that one it will be positive, and this image distance from here, this is v. This is the final image that we have obtained, and this distance is v, and as it is also in right side, then that will be taken as positive. So first of all this is the image as it is formed, and object and image distances we have written now. Now let's use the lens formula separately for these lenses. So first lens, if we will write the lens formula, then according to this one lens formula, first let's write the general formula. So 1 by v minus 1 by u, this is equal to 1 upon f. So suppose the focal length of first lens is f1, so this will be 1 by f1, and here object distance is already minus u, we have taken this one, and image distance if you will write, so this is v1. So as this formula we have written for the convex lens already, so we have taken this minus u in the sign convention before while deriving this formula, then directly you can write it one. So this is v1, this is u, this is 1 by f. So for the first lens, this will be the lens formula. Similarly for second lens we can write, for the second lens as image is v, so in the place of 1 by v we can write 1 upon v minus of and now here the image distance if you will write, so image distance is object distance, not image, as v1 is performing as the object for this second lens. This was the object for the second lens, then v1 will be taken as u. So this will be v1. This is equal to 1 upon, if this focal length of second lens is f2, I am not going to take it identical, it is the general condition. If f1 is the focal length of first, f2 is the focal length of second, then we can write the lens formula for these two one. Now if you will add these two formula, then this one will be cancelled out, and we can obtain this one is equal to the addition of this one. So let's just add these two equations, equation 1 and equation 2. So if we will add, then we will obtain, this will be cancelled out from this one, then 1 by v minus of 1 upon u, this will be to 1 upon f1 plus 1 upon f2, and as 1 by v is final, this is v is final image, u is object distance, then this according to lens formula this should be equal to 1 upon focal length of the combination of lens. So if f is the combination of focal length of the combination of lens, means the two lenses that we have put, lens 1 and 2, and if their combined focal length is given by f, then this one will be equal to 1 upon f, as it is final image by the combination, and this is the object distance for the combination. So according to this formula, this will be equal to 1 upon f, and this is finally equal to 1 upon f1 plus 1 upon f2. So this is the formula for the combination of lenses. Whenever you have two or more lenses that you have combined and you have kept that in contact. One more thing you have to just write here. For the contact, 1 by f will be equal to 1 upon f1 plus 1 upon f2 if two lenses you have. If more than two lenses, then you can just write down 1 by f3 plus 1 by f4 and so on. In the same way, you can find out the focal length of the combination for number of lenses that kept in constraint. So just use this one formula to calculate the direct combined focal length of the combination of lenses. And from here, one more thing we can calculate the power of the focal lengths that we have combined. Suppose we have used two or more lenses in contact, and that time we can also calculate the power of the combination. So as the power is given by reciprocal of focal length, so this will be also the power of combination. P is equal to 1 upon F, and this can be written as, now P is equal to, here first one 1 upon F1. This will be the power of first length, reciprocal of focal length. So we can write down power of first length as P1. Similarly, 1 upon F2 will be the power of second one, P2, P3, and so on. So in this way you can see, simply if you have number of lenses that you have combined or you have kept that in contact, then that time if you will add their powers, then final power we will obtain. So this kind of combinations in daily life we are using to increase the power of the lenses, and if whenever we are using that in contact lenses or in specs, then that time we are using this kind of thing. Now after combination, let's see what will be the magnification for the combination of lens. So as you know that the magnification helps us to understand for the image formation in this case, then magnification for the combination is given by the formula, that is M is equal to M1 into M2 into M3 and so on. Means here the image distance, image magnification, that will be simply multiplied by the image magnification of the second one. So if we have combined number of lenses in contact, then that time their magnifications will be multiplied, and this will give us the final magnification for the image. So you can understand from here, if you have to enlarge any object to a last one, then that time you can use the combination, and for the even small object you can see it in enlarged form. That we are, this application we are using in microscope to see any of the micro particles that easily we can see, and this combination of lenses can enlarge the image to the size in the centimeter, so that we can see it easily. So from the micro to centimeter easily this image can be enlarged from these kind of combinations. So this magnification formula, this is clear. Next one, if we have suppose some of the conditions, like I have taken two convex lens for the combination, and if we have combinations of concave lens and convex lens both, means one of the lens is convex and second lens is concave, then that time what will be its focal length? Then as just now formula of focal length for the combination, that is given by 1 upon F1 plus 1 upon F2. But as we know that for the convex lens focal length is positive, but for concave lens this is negative. So for this case we have to suppose if second lens is concave lens, first one is convex, then for the convex lens this will be positive, for the second one it will be negative. Then this formula will be equal to 1 upon F1 minus 1 upon F2 from here. And now if you will solve, then F can be calculated as F is given by F1 F2 upon F2 minus of F1. So this is the formula for the combined focal length of the combination of one convex lens and one concave lens that is kept in contact with each other. Now from here you can see that if F2 minus F1, this can have three values, means this can be greater than 0, less than 0 or equal to 0. So what will be the combined effect of this kind of combination if these three conditions will be applied here? So let's see one by one the conditions. We rub it first. So first, for the first one case, if this F2 minus F1, this is greater than 0, it means that F2 will be greater than F1 for this one case. Clear? So it means F2, that is the focal length of concave lens, and this one is the focal length of convex lens. So if focal length of concave lens is greater than the focal length of convex lens, then that time the combinations will behave as the convex lens. How can we understand actually this one? as f2 minus f1, this is greater than 0 means this will be positive. So if it is positive, then f will be positive for this one case. And you know that positive focal length is obtained only for the convex lens. Means our combination of convex and concave lens will behave now like a convex lens. And for this one, that focal length is given by this formula now. And here in this case, this f2 will be greater than f1. Means if we have used the convex lens less focal length than the concave lens, then that time this kind of situation is obtained and our combination will behave as the convex lens. Clear? So we can just also predict that which kind of combinations or which kind of images we can obtain by using the combination of lenses and the lenses are of different types. Second one case, if we have f2 minus f1, this will be negative. Means f2 minus f1, this is less than 0. So if this is less than 0, this term will be negative and finally this f will be obtained as negative. So for the negative focal length, as we know, this focal length, this is the focal length for the concave lens. Only negative focal length we are obtaining for concave one. So it means our combination will behave now like the concave lens. And for this one case, the focal length of convex lens should be greater than the focal length of concave lens. Only in this condition we can obtain the combination as the concave one. Now third condition, if you see, for the third one, if f1 minus f2, this is equal to 0. Means if we have used the focal lengths of the two lenses in equal way, means if focal length of convex lens is equal to focal length of concave lens, then that time this will be 0, and if this denominator is 0, then f will be infinite for this one case. And for the infinite case, as you know, focal length is infinite only for the plane surfaces. So it means that our combination will start to behave like a plane surface, and that's focal length is infinite. So combinations will also show you different kind of images. Like if you will use this one condition that f is positive, you will obtain finally. Then that time, as the lens will behave as a convex, then you can obtain both kind of images, virtual as well as real. And you can also obtain magnified and diminished object from here. But for the second one, if it is negative, then concave lens as it will behave like this one. And you can understand that here image will be virtual, magnification will be positive, you will get enlarged image in this case. Next one case, if this one you will use, then obviously this will behave like the plane one. So we don't have to use this one. If we need to use or we need to just obtain the result as convex or concave, then we have to just use these two conditions. And one more thing now, if a general formula you can see also. This formula you don't have to derive its derivation or its formula derivation, we don't have to see that. But what will be if we will put the two lenses at some distance, like we have just kept them in contact. If second condition, if I don't want to put them in contact, this is our first lens, this is second lens, means now the two lenses are separated by some distance d, and if this has the focal length f1, this one has the focal length f2, and now the if light will fall on this one of image, some of the image of this one will be obtained, and that image will give you the condition for the object of the second one, and the final image will be obtained. So this condition we are also using in the microscope. There two lenses are separated by some of the distances. So for this one case also in our formula, this t will arise, and the formula for the combined focal length, that is f, is given by 1 upon f1 plus 1 upon f2 minus of d upon f1 f2. So this is our final formula for the combination of lenses if two lenses are separated at some distances. So this is, I think, combination, power and the behavior of the combined lenses, that is totally now clear. Now let's see some of the numerical problem based on the concepts that we have studied up now. So here the first question have this is the radii of curvature of the faces of a double convex lens are 10 centimeter and 15 centimeter. So if we have this kind of lens, means this has double refracting surfaces, and this time if center of curvature is this one, this is center of curvature for first one, and this is the center of curvature for the second one, then that time the distance of this one is R2, if this one is R1. So if R1 and R2 are given to us, R1 is given as 10 centimeter and R2 is 15 centimeter. So this is 10, this is now 15 centimeter. Next one, if the focal length of the lens is 12 centimeter, find the refractive index of the material of the lens. So here focal length of this lens is given, this is 12 centimeter. Then we have to find out what will be the refractive index of the material, and you can write also. So here, as you know, one formula we have learned for the refraction at the spherical surfaces, and that time we have seen the focal length that is relating the refractive index and as well as the radius of curvatures. Then by the formula, this one is 1 by f is equal to u minus 1 upon r1 minus of 1 upon r2. Then now we will use this formula. So according to this formula, first the sign convention you have to use also. So for the sign convention, as you can see, this R1 is on the right side but R2 is in the left side. So it means that R2 should be minus of 15 centimeter. So here if you minus R2 you will write, then this formula will be positive. So these things you have to keep in your mind while solving numericals. Now let's find out the value of mu minus 1 from here. So mu minus 1, this will be equal to 1 upon f, that is 1 upon 12 into or upon, you can write, this will be upon, and this will be equal to 1 upon 10 plus 1 upon now 15. And now if you will solve it, then you can find out what will be the value of first mu minus 1. So this value is obtained after solution as 1 by 2, and if it is 1 by 2, then mu will be equal to this 1 plus 1 by 2, that is 3 by 2, or you can write 1.5. So this is the answer for our question. Refractive index of the material of lens is 1.5, that is glass already. Now next we have the next question, that is a card sheet divided into squares, each of size 1 mm square, is being viewed at a distance of 9 cm through a magnifying glass. Glass is a converging lens of focal length 10 cm held close to the eye. So in our question it is given, we have a card sheet that is divided into the number of squares, and every square has the size, that is area of the square is given 1 mm square. So you can also find out the side of the square. Side of the square, or you can write down here that as the square sheet is just like the object for us. So this will be size of object. That is a square sheet that will be equal to obviously 1 mm. Its square will be 1 mm square now. Next one, in the question it is given, it is viewed at a distance of 9 cm through a magnifying glass. So it means that from the glass the distance of the square sheet is 9 cm. So it will be object distance. So this will be minus of 9 cm. As always we are putting the object in front of the glass. Next one here, it is given that the glass nature, this is the converging lens, means convex lens of focal length 10 cm. So you know that for the convex lens we have always positive focal length. So this will be 10 cm. Now what is our question? Let's see that. What is the magnification produced by the lens, and how much is the area of each in the virtual image? So first of all we have to find out the magnification of lens, and to find out magnification m, as the formula for this one is given by minus of v by u from here. So for this case first we need v, and the v can be calculated by using the lens formula. So according to the lens formula, as we know, 1 by f is equal to 1 upon v minus of 1 by u. Now you can use this formula and can calculate v from here. So if you will put all the values and after this one you will calculate u. So 1 by u, this will be equal to 1 v you can calculate. So 1 by v, this will be equal to minus of 1 by 90. Means that v is obtained as minus of 90 centimeter. So this is the image distance that is also in front of the magnifying glass. We are obtaining in the same direction as the object. Next one, we have to find out as magnification here. So magnification in this case, that will be as v is negative, and u, first if you are confused then only v by u you can write, and now as v is negative, u is negative, then magnification will be positive here. So this magnification can be calculated as v, this is 90, u, this is 9. So 90 for 9, that is 10 centimeter. This is sorry, not centimeter, 10. This is the magnification. And also as we know that magnification m, it is the image height to the object height. So if the image height is I and object height, or means size of the image is I, size of the object is O, that is given already 1 mm. So here as magnification is 10 I, and upon, if you will write 1 here, so its value will be obtained directly. This is 1 mm. So I is obtained as 10 mm. So this is the size of the image here, and we had to find out area of the virtual image. So as already magnification is positive, it means virtual image we are obtaining, and for this virtual image the size of the image is 10 mm, and its area as the size square seat is square, or the object shape is square, so its area will be equal to I square. So you can find out area of the image. This is equal to I square, and this will be equal to 100 mm square. So this is our answer for the question that what will be the area of virtual image. Virtual image means already the image will be also square in the shape, and as image size we have obtained, then area we can calculate by using such kind of conditions. So first always try to see what you have to calculate and what is available to you in the data, and after that start to solve it. So this 2 numericals we have seen. Rest of the numerical let's see in next class. For today let's end our class here guys.